Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wabash Valley Business Podcast. We are glad you are here. We want your business to grow. We created this podcast because we want to help local business owners connect with each other and grow their business. It's hosted by Solve Don't Sell, and this episode in particular is brought to you by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and FlexPoint Spaces. We hope you enjoy this episode. Let's go. It's been a while since we've sat down with some mics and talked in this format. I got one question. And just want to hear you riff a little bit about it. But
let's riff back and forth on it, because I feel like it's going to start one place and it'll just kind of divulge or kind of unravel into a bunch of things.
Cool. So my question is 3 things you've learned in the past year of running Snap Home. I think it was about a year ago you rebranded Mahurin Media to become Snap Home. That was last spring.
Yeah.
So doing business this past year? Top 3 things you learned. I know you're riffing off the cuff, but you're an entrepreneur, small business owner. What have you learned this year?
Well, for me, it's been the first year that I've been in a position where I had to learn things, just in terms of actually running the business and doing it in a real way. Because when I started, it was a hobby, so I wasn't worried about a bunch of the things that we're worried about now. I can tend to, there's a million things, but for me, a big thing has been just learning the patience side of it. It's like you want to grow quickly. You want to do all these things fast. You have all these aspirations. You know me. I'm switching services and doing all this stuff just because I always have to be like doing something with the business. But then I look at it, it's like over time, just the steady, continued growth, whether I'm doing less or I'm going nuts and doing a million different things. Right. It's just over time it's gone like this, and we're just finally now getting into a place where we can pay people what they deserve to pay or to be paid, and we're 2.5 years in, and that's still quick, and it's been an amazing experience, but just slowing down and realizing, there's the whole other side aspect of this is just client first, but I've always kind of had that, wanted to always take care of the person that we're serving. We started that from the beginning. So really the first thing that comes to mind is just staying at it and outlasting competition. You talk to the ones who win are the ones that continue just to work hard and do it, whether we have 5 shoots in a month or we have 47 like we did last month. So it's just the patience side of it, and it's just not going to happen. And it's still quickly, and it still surprises me that I'll reach out to an agent and they don't know us. When you feel like everyone knows who you are, but in reality they don't, and so it's just kind of figuring out ways to just continue to serve people, continue to be consistent, continue to do the things that have helped us get to this point. And then what you guys brought into the company when you came was just the more, hey, this isn't a hobby, but now we're paying people, and there's more, you got to show up.
There's more risk involved now.
Yeah, there's more risk
in some
involved
ways. There's
now.
more reward, but to turn it from something you can do in your free time on the side to, we want this to be a business that, one, can ultimately pay the bills for the people who work for it.
And we're still not quite completely there,
right.
We've grown a ton, but
to be able to do that, you got to scale. You got to figure out what scaling looks like.
Like you talked about earlier, buying your time back.
Yeah.
Coming in and putting a system in place, because you just can't do it all. And no matter how much you want to do it.
So first one, you said patience.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that's 1A. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying it's the most important, but it's the first thing that came to mind because I thought about that today, and it was just like, man.
First thing that comes to mind, that's good. This is all off the cuff. I didn't want you to sit down with your notes. I want
for sure.
I want to hear you speak from the heart. So the first thing's patience. You kind of riffed into a few other things there. This
second thing is I'll just say ego. Like, you just have to leave it behind.
You have to have an ego.
No. No, that was big for me too, because when you started.
Well, say it again. What's number 2?
I said I'm just going to call it ego.
Oh.
Like, you got to leave the ego, because when you do something, you just you want the accolades for it. You start things, and And it's like you kind of want that, hey, look what I can do. You know, and even for this at the beginning it was some of that way for me. You know, you like that you can make a house look as good as you can, and you like it in the texts that are like, wow. And I'm not saying that stuff's bad,
Right.
but then you start to realize that it's just not important, you know, and especially when you have people working for you and you continue to kind of move through the echelon of as you continue to grow, which we're still obviously small, kind of understanding that and then taking the more like service-based approach to it helps everything else fall into place. You know, and tying that in with the solve don't sell stuff, it's like I'm not selling homes, you know, I'm solving the problem of a realtor being able to market their property, look professional, grow in the way that they, you know, grow their business, and make it easier for people to trust what they're doing.
Right.
You know, so when you start breaking it down and you make it about kind of like a story almost, instead of just I'm selling and I want you to buy this, you're partnering with people and you're helping them achieve their goals and you're helping them survive in what they're looking to do in their career, you know, and not just survive, whether it's at the beginning when you're surviving because it's a dog eat dog field, like there's 500 agents every 10 square miles. Right. And so whether it's just to survive and to get noticed at the beginning or to continue to like push yourself up into the you know, the higher elite level of whatever you're doing, we're partnering to help you do that. Yeah. And I think, you know, that's key.
Yeah. All right, number 3.
I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Because right there I also touched on the like the service side of it. My thing was like leaving your ego at the door, being patient with it.
And then you kind of got into serving people.
Serving
which
people.
I think goes with ego. So
it does.
If you had a different 3.
My other one
what have you...
would just be open, like...
If you look back at 2025, 2026 now, beginning of 2026, and this is your 3rd point, number 3, the Holy Trinity.
The 3rd point for me is I've gone through a lot of just being willing to be completely flexible with, like, so many things happen and so many things change that at the beginning of this it was like, yeah, you guys can join up, but here's how I do it. You know, and
so essentially, to be clear, building a team, bringing new people into your baby, your vision.
Whether it's a team or whether it's, I mean, there's so many facets to the business that have changed over the last year. That I didn't necessarily maybe want to change.
Right.
You know, and I don't have anything in particular off my mind, specific in my mind, but there's just things where it's like, I want to do it this way. And it's good to have other perspectives of people. That's what you guys brought so much to Snap Home, because you have experiences and you've done things that I've never done. And you can see the way things are going, and you've been in businesses that succeeded, you've been in businesses that haven't succeeded, and you have that experience. You know, I don't care what it is in life. The experience is one of the most important things, because, I mean, you don't learn the lessons unless you go through it.
Right.
And with me just starting this, then as a hobby, and then kind of it getting serious, adding you guys in the experience and just the input and things that you guys bring. So I guess flexibility, but again, not building a team is important. You know, like we couldn't be where we're at without our photographers and without Allison doing what she does and you doing what you do. But it's not just the team building part. It's how we edit and our workflows and how we get things to people. And it's just like, you can't do it yourself, even if you think you can.
And if you are, you're dead in the water.
Exactly, you're dead in the water.
Well, I'll jump back on point 3 and say this about you. I think that flexibility is a really good word for you. I think one of your outlier gifts is the ability to not take things too serious. Yeah. If anyone knows you and they've gotten to know you personally, you do take, like, life is serious to you. It matters. And it matters so much that you have this ability to let go and just...
Well, nothing I do in my business is worth it.
To get upset about. Right, and
like,
here's the thing.
Everything can be fixed.
Here's the thing. People out there, myself included, that's what I was saying. It's something I see in you that I really value. And when you invited me to become 50% owner of Snap Home,
Yeah.
and then I was like, well, I'll give you 50% ownership of Solve Don't Sell.
Deal.
I was like, I just need to get back across the country and start life over, essentially.
Yeah.
You have that ability to not take things too serious. And
it can burn me sometimes.
And
Just like
I'm the opposite, though.
Yeah.
I'm the end of I take everything too serious.
Right.
Which can burn me sometimes. It's also good.
Yeah.
But it can also be this side of me
complete each other. Is that what you're saying?
Kind of, yeah. I think so. I have definitely, if it's not completing each other, I have definitely learned from you this year. Because, for my story is I'm an entrepreneur at the beginning again, where I was a part of growing some businesses that could take care of us and make some more. It was exciting. I climbed the ranks in marketing. I climbed the ranks with our coffee company in our own little niche. Yeah. And then to move back across the country, we started over. So I went back to the beginning of all right, I got to start a business again. And I'm in the trenches of helping people build their businesses while I'm trying to build mine. And you are just such a godsend for me and our family as a partner in business. It's hard to find people you can trust and do business with. And I have that with you. And I think it has so much to do with point 3. Your ability to just be flexible, go with the flow, laugh at it. The worst thing in the world could happen, and you'll be like, you'll find a way to laugh about it. You'll probably laugh about it at first.
Well, there's just, I don't know.
At least when it's my stuff that's going wrong.
You.
If it's your stuff that's going wrong, I've seen you sweating.
You don't hear from me when it's my stuff. If it's your stuff, I'm here for you. But no, I appreciate that. Yeah, I've just always been that way. It's like there's so many important things in life to be worried about. And it's like, and I know it's easy to say that, but I do feel like I do a pretty good job in the heated moments to stay in those spots.
Dude, I've seen you do it. You've got 4 kids. You got the stabbing wagon. We've had some long talks on the porch. I'm not saying that it's but at the end of the day, it drives my mom nuts too. She's like, it doesn't matter if it's money or whatever it is. It's just like whatever. I need that in my life. Well, because this is a time crunch, and
oh yeah, sorry, we'll be here all night.
Yeah, and we can do this all the time. But those are the 3. So the third one was this past year. You've just learned to be more and more flexible. Yeah. To hand off, and you've done an excellent job at that, especially with Allison, I think, and just in general, the company's really grown and expanded to different areas. Number 2 was kill the ego, let go of the ego. Yeah. Servitude.
And then we talked about service.
Remember, you exist to serve. It's not about you.
Right, exactly, and which again ties in with what we do with Solve Don't Sell, and it makes it easy. Yeah. If you're out there truly caring and just wanting to serve people, then the rest will take care of itself. It really will.
I agree.
And it might take patience.
And number 1.
And it might take patience.
Number 1 was patience.
That's kind of like a good comedy act where you kind of like come full circle. Yeah. And then you finish the joke that you started at the beginning. Yeah.
Well, thank you for doing this at 11:30 at night.
Hey. And if anybody wants to come check out our nice new office,
it's coming together.
We're on the square.
And if anyone needs their listings to be hard to ignore,
so that their business can be easy to trust.
Yeah. At Snap Home Media, we make your listings hard to ignore.
Yep.
So that
your business is easy to trust. That's not exactly it, but it's close. That's the concept. That's the concept. We're gonna blow you up.
Well, thanks for jumping on.
No problem.
We appreciate you.
Hey, thank you.
All right. You want to maybe